Ladies and gentlemen, with her viral hit, It's About Damn Time.
The stage lights blaze in gold as Lizzo raises her Grammy high above her head, her voice trembling with emotion. This is for anyone who ever felt like they weren't good enough. It was more than an acceptance speech. It was a cultural moment. For millions, Lizzo became a symbol of strength, confidence, and unapologetic joy. A woman who defied beauty standards, conquered the charts, and made self-love a movement. But fame is a fragile thing. The same world that cheered her rise would soon question everything she stood for. Headlines turned harsh. Words like toxic, hypocrisy, and betrayal began to overshadow her once glowing reputation. How did Lizzo, the fearless queen of body positivity, go from inspiring the world to defending herself against it? This is not just the story of a pop star. It's a journey through fame, pressure, and the cost of authenticity. This is Lizzo's rise, fall, and reinvention. Melissa Vivian Jefferson, the world would one day know her as Lizzo, was born on April 27, 1988, in Detroit, Michigan. Her early years were filled with gospel music, church choirs, and the deep, soulful hum of Motown playing through her family's small home. When she was 10, her parents moved the family to Houston, Texas, a place that mixed hip-hop beats with Southern heat. It was there that Lizzo first picked up the flute, joining the school band and discovering her gift for performance. But her teenage years were not easy. She often felt invisible, too different, too loud, too big to fit in. Her father, a passionate man who encouraged her dreams, became her anchor. When he passed away during her college years, everything fell apart. Lizzo dropped out, heartbroken and lost. For a time, she slept in her car, surviving on gas station snacks and borrowed hope. In interviews, she would later say, "I didn't know what my purpose was anymore. Music became the only thing keeping me alive." That pain, raw, unfiltered, and real, became her fuel. Detroit gave her soul. Houston gave her rhythm. But loss gave her the fire that would one day light up the world. When Lizzo arrived in Minneapolis, she wasn't a star. She was a dreamer with a backpack, a flute, and a fierce determination to survive. She found herself in a city bursting with creativity, home to legends like Prince, where funk, soul, and rebellion lived in every beat. She began performing with local indie rap groups, fusing humor, confidence, and feminism into her lyrics. Her first real breakthrough came with the all-female rap trio, The Chalice, whose fiery energy and unapologetic attitude caught attention in the underground scene. In 2013, Lizzo released her debut solo album, Lizzo Bangers. The project was loud, eccentric, and unfiltered, a mix of rapid-fire rhymes, marching band horns, and pure attitude. Critics praised her originality, calling her a force of nature. But despite the buzz, mainstream success remained distant. 2 years later, she released Big Girl, Small World, an album that spoke to her truth, embracing her body, her struggles, and her voice. It wasn't just music. It was a manifesto. "I was done trying to fit in," she said. "I wanted to make space for myself." In 2016, everything began to shift. She signed with Atlantic Records, bringing her closer to the mainstream spotlight. From there, late-night shows, festivals, and television appearances followed. Every stage she touched, she lit up with charisma. Lizzo wasn't trying to be perfect. She was trying to be real. And that authenticity was about to make her unstoppable. It was the year the world finally caught up to Lizzo. Her third studio album, 'Cause I Love You, exploded like a firework across pop culture. From the explosive horns of Juice to the gospel power of 'Cause I Love You, every track radiated confidence, vulnerability, and joy. But there was one song, an old one, that changed everything. Truth Hurts. Originally released in 2017, it had gone largely unnoticed. But 2 years later, thanks to TikTok virality and streaming power, it became the anthem of a generation. "I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that back." With that line, Lizzo went from underground sensation to global superstar. The song hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, staying there for 7 straight weeks. Lizzo became the first black solo female artist to top the chart in years, and the world couldn't get enough. Her performances were electric. From the MTV VMAs to the BET Awards, every show was a celebration of self-love and power. She played the flute, danced in glitter bodysuits, and reminded everyone that beauty came in every size. In 2020, Lizzo swept the Grammy Awards, taking home trophies for Best Pop Solo Performance and Best Urban Contemporary Album. She was everywhere: magazine covers, fashion campaigns, talk shows. To millions, she wasn't just an artist. She was a movement. For a moment, it felt like Lizzo had done the impossible. She turned self-acceptance into stardom. But as her light grew brighter, so did the shadows that fame inevitably casts. And soon, the queen of positivity would find herself at the center of a storm. By 2023, Lizzo seemed untouchable, adored by fans, celebrated by critics, and hailed as the face of body positivity. But in the summer of that year, everything changed. 3 of her former dancers filed a lawsuit accusing Lizzo of creating a toxic work environment, claims of harassment, weight shaming, and emotional abuse. The irony was devastating. The woman who built her brand on love and inclusion was suddenly being accused of the opposite. The headlines hit like thunder. Lizzo sued by former dancers. From empowerment to exploitation, social media erupted. Fans who once praised her began to question everything. Even comedians and talk shows, once her allies, turned her story into punchlines. Lizzo responded swiftly, calling the accusations outrageous and false. But the damage was already done. In the court of public opinion, she was guilty until proven innocent. What hurt most wasn't just the lawsuit, it was the betrayal. Her image of joy, confidence, and empowerment had become a weapon used against her. Behind the cameras, Lizzo retreated. She canceled appearances, avoided interviews, and went silent on social media. The sparkle, once her signature, was dimming. For the first time in her career, the woman who told millions to love themselves was struggling to love who she had become. And as the world debated her guilt, one truth remained: fame is not freedom. It is a mirror, reflecting every flaw, every misstep, for the world to judge. After months of silence, Lizzo slowly began to reappear, not in arenas or red carpets, but in small, honest moments. No glitter, no choreographed confidence, just her, vulnerable, reflective, human. She spoke about the weight of fame, the pain of betrayal, and the journey of healing. "I'm still figuring out how to be me again," she said softly in one post. "I used to think self-love meant shouting it from the rooftops. Now it means whispering it to myself when no one's listening." Instead of fighting back through outrage, Lizzo turned inward. She sought therapy, reconnected with family, and began writing music again. This time, not for validation, but for peace. Her new songs hinted at scars and survival. The production was gentler, the lyrics rawer. She also refocused her energy on community, funding scholarships for young black musicians, speaking on mental health, and performing at charity events away from the spotlight. Bit by bit, the woman once accused of losing her authenticity began to rebuild it from within, not as a pop goddess, but as an artist reclaiming her humanity. The public's opinion remained divided, but Lizzo seemed at peace with that, because for the first time in years, she wasn't chasing perfection. She was embracing imperfection and turning it into strength. Lizzo's journey is far from over, but one thing is certain: she changed the landscape of modern pop forever. She gave a voice to those who felt unseen. She turned body positivity from a whisper into a roar heard across the world. And even through controversy, she reminded us that authenticity isn't always pretty. It's painful, it's messy, and it's real. Her story isn't one of perfection, but persistence. A woman who rose from sleeping in her car to standing on the world's biggest stages, and still had the courage to confront her own flaws. Lizzo taught a generation that self-love is not a destination you reach. It's a battle you fight every single day. Whether adored or criticized, she remains a symbol, not of flawlessness, but of humanity. This is for anyone who's ever felt unworthy. You are enough. If you believe every star deserves a second chance, subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories.